course, the ward level team can be done. I mean, because on an average, what we see now is one ward will get on an average about 10 cases per day. So that being the case, around 2000, yesterday it was about 1500. So more than this, I mean, as Atik sir also had briefed earlier, what is more important is that to ensure that the survey is done once in at least 10 days, the complete survey of all the households in that particular booth needs to be done. It is not just a one-time affair. I mean, today morning also I had a meeting of all the divisional officers. Divisional officers means we have appointed 27 senior KAS officers who will be in charge at the assembly constituency level. So morning we had a meeting with all of them. And then I told them about this survey part, and I have asked this divisional officers to visit 3 wards per day, so that maximum each divisional officer will have about 8 to 9 wards. Within 3 days, visit each ward, have a meeting with all the ward level officers, including where the booth level team officers are there, along with the volunteers, and then divide the area and see to it that immediate household survey is done in order to identify people with ILI, SARI, comorbid conditions who require immediate testing needs to be done. Facilitate them to take to the testing centers at the PHC levels or using the mobile testing centers. When once we identify them, then we have the data, take them for testing, then isolate them till they get the test results. So if this is done and immediately you will be identifying, tracking, then isolating them so that they don't spread infection. At the same time, when once the test is done, if they are tested positive, then the other workflow will happen. So the major work of this booth level team is thus conducting this survey, and they will also help in contact tracing as well as other activities. But as of now, this booth level, household survey is the most important thing. If you can do this in a regular basis and identify all these vulnerable people and get them tested, isolate them, probably then things will be under control in the days to come. So with that in mind, probably all these divisional officers will start meeting. I mean, what they will do is they will identify a ward, talk to the corporator will be there, ward committee members will be there, along with them the booth level officers and the volunteers. So this meeting, if they do it the way I did today also, I mean, it was in an open place, it was done, and about 70-80 of them were there, including our booth level officers. So then we have, I mean, the format is already there. Using that format, they have to identify, and most important is the training. I mean, they should know probably what needs to be done. If this is done, and if they, all of them do their work, this one probably the next course of this one, the cases, the way we are getting it now, probably in the days to come, it may flatten. That's what I think. Thank you.
So what do you see as the role of the citizens at the booth level? Like when you went today, are the citizens of the ward also part of this kind of discussion?
Yeah. In the morning, when I went there, I mean, all the citizens, volunteers, I mean, thus locally, who is active, who is doing this, if the corporator takes initiative, then all of them will come. And when I said this, they are also, I mean, actively they are participating, and they have been assigned, I mean, bulk of houses, which is each team has been assigned a particular jurisdiction. I mean, depending upon if some booth level officer is not active, they have given 2 booths like this. Locally, they have made arrangements, and volunteers plus officers, they're all involved. And because of which, in this particular ward, things are happening very well. And if you look at the entire that particular ward, I mean, the assembly constituency, it comes under Sarvagnetra assembly constituency. I mean, the number of active cases have come down. And I told them that I will visit this ward again when there will be 0 cases. So you should aim at zero cases using this strategy, so that others should look up to you. And that carburetor is about 4 times he was, I mean, earlier he was a opposition leader, so a very active person. So that if I have some islands of excellence, this we can showcase it to the other wards and show that, look, here it has been done, why can't you do this? So that will be, I mean, model for other wards to emulate.
Okay, great. Okay, so I welcome Atik sir. Atik sir, you missed maybe the first few minutes. First we welcome Manjunath Prasad sir back to BBMP. We all worked with him in the past, and then I've given him a brief update on what we have been doing ever since you made that first call to me, like almost July 8th or 9th, I think you called us. After that, what we have assembled a team of people here and what has been doing. I've given him an update and I asked him to share his views on what he expects to see going forward. And the idea of this meeting is to listen to the representatives of different civil society organizations here. They have been working on this, as you know, very hard and put a lot of time and energy into this with you, along with you. So they can have an opportunity to interact with Mr. Prasad and ask him the question, so that we can figure out how each of the, for example, training, we made some progress. So what can we do on training going forward? For mobilization, we have done some work. For workflow, we have done a lot of work. So that's the purpose of this call. So I asked them to raise their hand and ask these questions. And Atik sir, you want to say something before they go? Please go ahead. You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I would like to just make a few observations since Manjunath is here. I will take this opportunity. Manjunath, what happened was that we requested Anbu Kumar to give us a list of booth level officers, their names and numbers, which they gave us. Once they gave us, then Janagraha developed this website called blcares.in. In that, we populated the entire list. As per the map, it is populated. Now you can search your ward and your booth. You can get who's the booth level officer. Then what we did was, when we tested the booth level officers, we made several calls. Most of the booth level officers were either unaware of their mandate as a booth level officer, or they said that new BBMP kelli nanu gottilla, new BBMP office hogi. Somebody, in fact, my son called the booth level officer of Dollars Colony and asked him, "Nanu volunteer ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ." ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ನೀವು BBMP ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಫೋನ್ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅವರು. So then what we realized was that many of the booth level officers have not reported for duty. They have sought exemption, or they have said that we are comorbid, we are 55 plus. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವು ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ಸ್ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಡೂ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ this portal has come out quite nicely already. It is GIS integrated, ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. That the only problem is the BLO list. If you go public with it, then people will call and get disappointed. So we should remove the BLO list from there, and then we should make it public. I have written a letter to you, and then you have also, I believe, started discussing this issue. And then this one, BBMP should inaugurate this, or you launch this BL Cares, and then we should also throw open inquiries for anybody any citizen who wants to enroll. Should give a name of the which area he or she is coming from, and they should enroll. And SMS should go to them saying that thank you for enrolling as volunteer. You can get in touch with the following people for further activities. Ariti Salpa, if we can activate further the citizens' involvement, it will be nice. Already a lot of work is going on. I have seen it from your tweets that you have already started meeting booth level teams, which is excellent, which is the way to go. So, but only thing is the different people working in different teams are trying to make their own volunteers. For example, contact tracing people are trying to make their own set of volunteers. Home quarantine watch people are trying to make their own set of volunteers. Actually, BBMP should have one set of volunteers who are working at the booth level and who are actually coordinated at the ward level. This one. And ward committee, the corporators may or may not take interest. Some people, some places where corporators take interest is very good. But otherwise also, as an administrative unit, we should keep the ward committee, ward level as an active this one, so that the local officers drive the agenda with the help of some citizen volunteers. That is the kind of approach we want to see. So health survey, then contact tracing. Now actually because of communities spread kind of a thing, I don't think much contact tracing is possible. Now the objective should be to make sure that everybody who tests positive gets classified into 3 categories, either requiring hospitalization or going to COVID care center or home isolation. Then the booth level team should find out whether the house is fit for home isolation, and then permit home isolation, or we should advise them to go to a COVID care center. Coordinate with COVID care center through the ward, and coordinate ambulance movement through the ward, and also do as you said, once in 10 days the health update, and for that they should also carry a pulse oximeter. So this is the kind of way we should go about, and we have activated it. We have done 1 round of trainings, but going forward actually BBMP should own it up and continue to use them. That is my view. One, since you are here, APF is reminding me that they have those 6,000 pulse oximeters. Yarg hand over ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೂ, because I am not able to get hold of Manoj Jain. 2-3 times I called. Most of the times he is in some VC. So if you could ask Manoj Jain to call me, or I will mail it to him so that he can take it forward with the APF to obtain those 6,000 pulse oximeters and distribute it among the booth. One last point I want to make: if booth level officers sikta illa, if they are not available, and one suggestion from Whitefield Rising that has come is the solid waste management blocks are there. The solid waste management blocks are also somewhat like booths only, slightly bigger than booths. And those people are in any case working on a day-to-day basis. They can also be asked to mobilize the COVID effort. Then because in any case they are going house to house, they can distribute some information pamphlets. They can make some basic check about the health status of the residents and advise them. That is also possible. Either booth level officers or solid waste management block. Somewhere at the decentralized level, some activities goes on where if somebody turns positive, some local level contact is there so that people can reach out. That is a simple objective of this exercise. I think we should move towards that. In that direction, whatever civil society can contribute from their side, they should work with ward committees and booth level committees. So with this, I think this is the, and if one more round of training is required, then if the booth level volunteers or booth level workers are there, then Jafar and I can do one refresher training. One round ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, we can do one more round. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So can the representatives of civil society organizations go? Tara, can you speak up?
Hello, Manjunath sir. Welcome back from Citizens for Bengaluru. Actually, the part that we have started working on from CFB, 2 or 3 things. One is outreach to the ward committees to attend the trainings that were held by Atik sir and others, and to get as many as possible registered to take this forward. The second is that there are a lot of volunteers interested in becoming booth level volunteers, and they have reached out to us as part of this outreach that we were conducting in introducing the program itself. But the big issue is that, okay, we want to be booth level volunteers, but where do we go? Who will take us and who will give us the job to do, and so forth. So there is a pipe disconnect at that point where there is a ground level enthusiasm to contribute, but who to approach, because there are multiple volunteer groups that are there, like the home quarantine squad, like, contact tracing. There are so many. There are, various commissioners, special commissioners, and others running groups. I myself am part of some 5 or 6 Telegram groups. In addition, in my own ward, we have RWAs that have taken the lead. So things like that, because of things like that, there isn't clarity even for those that are willing to come forward, sort of younger folks, if you will, who are even able-bodied and voluntarily willing to go door to door. They aren't able to go to a certain place. I can talk about the workflow as well that we put together for Atiq sir, if I can share my screen. Is that okay? This is the set of, this is the set of things that a booth level, okay.
One second.
Screen sharing is disabled, yeah.
Once I can share it from here, Tara.
Okay.
I'll give you access. Just.
So this is the workflow that was put together for every booth level or ward level volunteer, right? What should they do once they get enrolled? What are their tasks? Now, what this is where this is not entirely complete is that there are various other groups. It's still disabled, Sapna.
Yeah, no, I'm just pulling it up. 1 second, because it's only 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pulling it up. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have.
So,
I've just.
Okay. So this is this workflow is supposed to tell every volunteer what they do. So the BLKS portal needs to be modeled along this workflow. This is a draft, of course, subject to your and other people within the government that are working on this, that are responsible for this, to say where certain actions need to be taken or where it is already covered. So I'll just walk you through this really quickly. We'll start with the second column. In the second column, you see 2 blocks: prevention, and which is in green, and cure and avoid spread, which is below in light blue. So there are 2 categories of people, if you will, and one set falls under prevent, the other set is cure and avoid spread. So for example, the very top may be not symptomatic, not at risk, not vulnerable. So for instance, I would say people like me, I have no symptoms, I'm not comorbid, and there is no vulnerability I have. Then you have people that are not symptomatic, not at risk, but are vulnerable. For example, they may be pregnant, or they may have other health issues, or they may be in a slum where physical distancing is not possible, or they may have very specific comorbidities that are related to being more easily COVID positive. And then you have people who are not symptomatic, but at risk because their contacts have tested positive, right? They may have traveled, or their contacts may be positive. Now, the question is, what do you do for people like this, right? So if you look at the right side, that is where we try to capture what you do for people like this. So if you look at the purple sort of circles, there is an ongoing in some cases, there is a daily in some cases. So the daily is where those are the sets of people that need to be monitored daily. So the middle 2 boxes within the green are the ones that should be monitored daily, whereas if you're not symptomatic, not at risk, is just ongoing at whatever rate. Now the entire workflow has been put together assuming that 80% of the time, 80% of the volunteers don't need to be going home to home or facing people. Much of this can be done online. One of the biggest feedback we have received, both from what Atiq sir just said, and from our own pilots that we've done in the wards and other pilots, is that people are concerned about putting themselves at risk. The existing ward committee members, many of them are older people and they are concerned, or people that come forward are concerned. So if we put together a workflow where of every 100 volunteers, 20, something like 20 are required to be out on the field, whereas 80% of the work and 80% of the people don't need to do that to even accomplish all of this, then I believe the success rate will be higher. So we have put it together with that in mind. So if you look at the box with the 3 black arrows, you will see where there are some where they're not at risk but otherwise vulnerable. There are specific things that volunteers need to do for them. For example, make local healthcare available, like maybe fever clinics, local doctors, local nurses, local pharmacies, or if you're in slums, some arrangement needs to be done for distancing, especially if you're older people in slums, maybe they need sleeping space. And similarly, if you're comorbid, daily check of being symptomatic needs to be done. You don't need to necessarily physically go there. If a pulse oximeter is made available to these people, then they can check it daily and report. The point is monitoring. And the little box you see with the man in the scooter like a Swiggy is, these are the cases where home delivery of rations might need to be done, telemedicine needs to be available, emergency transport must always be available for these people. So, and the phone symbol indicates that most all of this can be done on the phone. Now, similarly, if you look at the bottom, the cure and avoid spread are the cases where they are COVID positive or symptomatic and untested. So if you're symptomatic and untested, then the volunteer needs to make sure the local fever clinic is available to these people, make sure that the testing is arranged for, and whether it should be home quarantine or institutional quarantine. Similarly, if you're tested but asymptomatic, home quarantine, and regularly coordinate with BBMP for sanitization and things like that. And but if they are positive, actually positive, symptomatic, or cured, or travel returned, home quarantined, etc., again, in cases where institutional quarantine needs to be arranged, they need to do that. Again, much of this can be done by coordination over the phone, but they need to check more than daily, twice daily. Of course, there's some home delivery of rations and medicines and other things that need to be done. The bottommost box, positive, critical, or emergency, where you see the two black boxes leading from that, is the cases where, ambulance needs to be, you need to be very likely that ambulance needs to be available, local doctors, nurses, pulse oximeters, oxygen cylinders locally, and so forth. Now, the point of this is that on the right side, what you see, the right bar with the graphics of awareness, information, resources, helplines, outreach, and reporting. This will be done for all people, every person in the ward, whether they fall under the top 3 boxes or the bottom 3 boxes. Every volunteer needs to make sure that awareness is spread. This might be through WhatsApp posters, or if they are visiting home, through physical posters or other information, WhatsApp information. Then other local hospital, who are your local doctors and nurses to call if you're seeing any symptoms, COVID or otherwise. Similarly, what resources are available locally, like fever clinics or whatever. Then helplines, local helplines, BBMP helplines, GOK helplines, emergency helplines. Then outreach needs to be done regularly. This is the piece you are talking about in terms of who has ILI or SARI, or who has any of these who are vulnerable. And then finally, reporting. This is through BL Cares. Everybody, all volunteers need to do it for all citizens. So imagine if a ward committee, if a booth committee were to, if a booth volunteer were to put in this data on a daily basis, whatever they did. If it is nothing, then they put in nothing, but daily you're at least on WhatsApp checking on some people. Twice daily you're checking on some people. Ongoing, you're checking on some people. So you're going to roll up that data, which means that at the end of a week, in every booth, you will get a status check on how many people are developing symptoms, how many people are at risk, how many people are untested and waiting for testing, how many people are getting to a critical stage and we might need ambulance or other facilities. Every week, because of this reporting, you will get bottom-up information in addition to whatever information you already have on your dashboard. Similarly, at the right end, what you see is the roll up of the data locally, which means this also goes up to the ward committees, right? So if a ward committee meeting is supposed to happen every week, even after the term ends, if it can be under disaster management, if they can continue, or volunteers at a ward level can constitute such a committee temporarily and continue, then not only at booth level aggregation, ward level aggregation can be done of this data. And at the very bottom, the red bar basically talks about there needs to be an escalation matrix for any kind of non-availability, denial or emergency. So one thing I wanted to say was, when we started with Mr. Atik, one of the most important goals we set for ourselves is to specifically reduce the number of fatalities in Bengaluru. Within BBMP area, reduce the number of fatalities. So if we look at why are those fatalities happening, there are 3 things that bubble up to the top. 1, ambulance not available in a timely fashion. You end up with a 3-hour wait, 6-hour wait in some cases. This is why in the workflow you see that in every booth you have to have either in the ward office booth level facilities, whether it is fever clinic, a school, or whatever facilities we have, both pulse oximeters and oxygen cylinders, certain numbers to have, along with local doctors and nurses available to administer it until the ambulance comes, right? The second is the reason that fatalities happen is because of denial of admission by hospitals. So again, live live bed data needs to be made connected into this portal. So the whole point is, if you go and tell citizens you now have booth level local contacts that you never had before, there are local people that can help you and therefore you will get help faster. They really must be able to help faster, which means you must have an escalation matrix, you must have the local live bed data, the closest ambulance available, etc. Third reason that people die is because even though the hospital, once they reach the hospital, they kept waiting in the lobby, and ICU or / ventilator, right? That combination is not available. Again, this is live data that can be made, which also makes the hospitals more accountable, because they cannot claim it is there and then this doesn't happen. So the next slide, really quickly, Sapna, if you could go.
Sarah, there's a lot of folks on the call, so if you can summarize and wrap up, please.
Yeah, the next slide only talks about what are the resources booth level volunteers will need, and at the ward level they will need and are available already. Some are available, some they will need, right? Some is information. The left side talks about the information that they need, which is available, say with, home quarantine squad has some information. Who are all the positive people? BBMP already has the information. Who are all, travel return? We already have that information at the state level. Some of this needs to be fed into the portal. And then the middle is what the people need to gather themselves, right? Like, who are the local nurses, doctors? The booth level volunteers have to gather this as booth level resources. The right end is what we can make available. What are the helplines? Who are the government contacts? We need to create these templates for sharing and for reporting. Similarly, at a ward level, there are some resources. If all of this can be put into the portal, it can be comprehensive, and that is the thinking. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Sir, you can come to that a little later. I am a little worried about time. I know that you have to run at 5 o'clock. Vinay, I want Vinay to go, and then Malar is here, and then Nitya. Just please keep it simple, short, and make your point, please. And you know how many people are on the call, so go ahead.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಲವೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ದು, ಒಂದು ಬೂತ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರು ಸೇರ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಎರಡೂ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಬೂತ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಮಿಟೀಸ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಎರಡನೇದು, BBMP ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೆಲಸ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಲವಾರು ತಂಡಗಳಿದೆ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಪಟ್ಟಭಿ ರಾಮನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತಂಡಗಳಿದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವತ್ತು ಒಂದ್ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ರು, ನರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು, ಹೋಮ್ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ಇದ್ರು, ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್, AEE ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಗಳು ವಾರಕ್ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಡೆದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇರೋ ತನಕ. ಮತ್ತೆ BBMP ಇರೋ ಹಲವಾರು ತಂಡಗಳು ಒಂದು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೂರನೇದು, ಮಲ್ಲರ್ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕೊಳಚೆ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮ್ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಹಲವಾರು ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು BBMP ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. We just would like Manjunath Prasad sir to please outline how is it that we can work together, because this is a point that we must all do together, and we're all ready to help. So just request that BBMP helps us to for all of us to work together. That's it.
Thanks. Isaac, you or Malar, you want to go? Isaac, you ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಹೇಳಿ
ಸರ್. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್, ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್, ಅತೀಕ್ ಸರ್, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎರಡೇ ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು, ಈ ಸ್ಲಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಜನ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಭಯ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ 116 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮಾರು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 2 ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ 116 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಸಮುದಾಯ ಭವನಗಳು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖಾಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ತರದ ಹಳೆದಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ತರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ BBMP ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ಲಮ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕಟ್ಟಿ BBMP ಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೊಂದು ಕಡೆ. ಎರಡನೇದು, ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಸುಮಾರು ಸತಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನಡೆಯೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಯಾರಂತ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನು ಬೂತ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಸತಿ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿನಯ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಬೇರೆ ಈ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಎ ಇದೆ ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಎ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ 15 days ಔಟ್ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಬಿಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅವರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೂತ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 32 ಬೂತ್ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಆ 32 ಬೂತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು 15 ಬೂತ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಜನರನ್ನ ಒಟ್ಟುಗೂಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಏನೇ ಮಾಡೋರು ಕೂಡ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಇ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಜನನೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಜೊತೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ತಂಡವನ್ನ ನಾನು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈ ಬೇರೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ 120 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಜನ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿರೋಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕೊರೋನಾ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಮಾಹಿತಿನ ನಾವು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗೋದಂತೇಳಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. Nitya, you want to come in and please speak about the thing that you guys have been proposing. I think sir has already mentioned it, but you can probably, Manjunath sir probably knows, but you should tell him, at least in Madhapura, sir, this is a very interesting model that we should consider in Madhapura, at least. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, Manjunath sir, nice to see you again and welcome back, as everyone said. I think I won't touch on the points that others have said, but what I want to talk about is, I feel all the pieces of the puzzle are all there. The volunteers are there across the board. In fact, many of us, as Tara said, are engaged in all the different groups organized by the government itself, especially under Captain Manivannan. And we feel disconnected across the different initiatives. And I really feel that a little bit of organizing and bringing this all under one umbrella will be one of the key things to make a dramatic difference, and whether it's under the ward committee or whatever it is that you would like to do, but preferably ward committee. And as Atiq sir said, whether or not in that ward they're engaged or not, that's a second story. But one single organization to hold it all together will just help us volunteers be more effective. Otherwise, our own people are a little scattered and not knowing who's giving them what instruction that day to take up a job. And that's why what ends up happening is many of us start making our own plans as citizens, etc., and start doing our own thing. But we would prefer to work under the government's directions, but if it's coordinated in this fashion. The other thing is, sorry about that. Sorry about that. The other thing is that we feel SWM has already done a great job of lane by lane marking of all the homes across Bangalore. And definitely we know it's been done in Madhapura, and we are closely involved on that side of the story. So what we feel we can do is utilize that effectively. In fact, we are already printing the first set of flyers, which will go on the route of every Atixa. We have 32, not 27 in our ward as an example, SWM route, whereby we will actually be able to touch every household, and if a few ASHA workers were involved in that route, that would be enough. I think we've ourselves struggled a lot with booth level BLOs. As Atixa said, many of them are very disengaged. Many of them claim, in our case, over 90%, when we called 300 of them sometime back for another purpose, they had not been paid, etc. So I don't see the booth level people going to be engaging in the manner that we would like them to. Rather, let's utilize what works already, or at least is attempted to work, the SWM routes, and see if we can utilize that. Is all I would say. I'll hand over to the next one.
Thank you. Katyani ma'am, go ahead.
Namaskara, sir. Prasad sir, we are happy you have come back to BBMP, and we really appreciate Mr. Atiq, whatever he's been doing so far. He has activated the ward committees, and he's also trying to activate the booth level committees. In that respect, sir, I sent you a mail and a message this morning. I don't know if you had the time to look at it, but what we are trying to say, sir, is that the booth level officers are not responding. That is what many people are saying. So we are saying if there is the institutionalized structure mulka now hodre, we should have had area sabhas, and we should have had an area sabha representative as per the KMC Act. But we have not activated that. But sir, the High Court has already ordered in the case of Mangalore Municipal Corporation that area sabha should be immediately constituted, and that ward committee also should be immediately constituted. And we can extrapolate that High Court order to all municipal corporations is our stand. And so, sir, if even now, if you can please tell Mr. Rakesh Singh to notify every polling booth area as one area. And if informally or formally, if a area sabha representative can be nominated, the corporator is supposed to nominate them as per the act. So if he can be nominated, he is a person living in that area. So we will not have to beg the booth level officers to take up this task. So the area sabha representative can bring all the volunteers together, and he can coordinate with the ward committee, which he is supposed to do also. And so, sir, all the volunteers can interact with him, and there will be a nodal point, and also it will be as per the law and as per the High Court order and as per the institutionalized structure which is already there. So that is my request, sir. And even now, the term of the council may end in September or so, but these bodies can continue informally at least until we tide over this COVID situation. And it will be a learning also for the areas, for the booth level people in the booth, that is the area, to start taking baby steps to look after their governance themselves. And I think they should already have the data that the solid waste management people have about the household surveys. And sir, they can also do a full booth level survey and keep the data. That will be useful forever. And I think, sir, that is the point I wanted to make. And the message I have sent you, sir, today morning is also about the article that Mr. Ramchandran, former Union Urban Development Secretary, has written, saying that if only the area sabhas were active, COVID would have been managed much better. I hope you can go through his articles. I have sent you the link also, and I had sent it to Mr. Atik sir also. And I think that is the best proposition that we can have, sir, to have an institutionalized structure managing the entire thing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So I'm very conscious of the time, so please keep it quick. Malar, go next, and then Ramji, Malar and Ramji. I think that's all I have. If anybody else want to say something, you need to raise your hand or let me know.
This is Malar here. From the ground realities, I would like to share the challenges what we are facing. From the initial stage, we have tried to connect with the BLOs. Even the corporator is not able to catch up with the BLO. They are not there in the picture at all. And then we started visiting the PHCs, especially we concentrated with on the population living in slums, and then with the support of community organizations like Slum Mahila Sangatne, Slum Gender Sangatne, and Swaraj Abhiyan, we have initiated our work in 8 wards, especially in the Mysore Road area, which are thickly populated. And we found that there are PHCs like 139 ward, 140 ward has only one PHC, and they have only one health worker to support the PHC. And most of the PHCs are running out of medicines, even for the regular visitors, right? People who are depending on the PHCs, they even are not able to get medicines, regular medicine. So the non-COVID issues are becoming more and more challenging to face for the slum dwellers. So it is important for BBMP to take care of these issues. There should be a guideline. There should be a guidance from the PHC where to go. That is not happening now. So if the PHCs can direct it, because most of the most of the hospitals which these slum population have been dependent on has been dedicated to COVID hospitals. So they are losing lives because they are unable to reach out to the right place, and they don't have spaces to go. And there are private hospitals which are charging them a lot. Even the pregnant women are being pushed to private hospitals, which is costing them, and they do not know where to go. Like even operation also cost them 70,000, 80,000. They end up coming back home and suffering at home. So this is
This is a very easily solvable problem, sir. I think Malar has actually written an entire note on it, including containment strategy for slums and things like that. We'll send it to you. In the interest of time, she may not be able to go through all that now, but Malar, we should send that to Mr. Manjunath Prasad also. You put in a lot of effort into that with other people. So Ramji, you want to go next, please? Yeah. Ramji, sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir, I have 3 updates and one request. 3 updates. Number 1 is we've been working on creating a manual for ward level and booth level people, workers for COVID management. And Mr. Atik had actually told us to work on that. The first draft is ready. Hopefully, if it gets approved soon, we can actually then get it released. That's number 1. Number 2 is after the training that has happened, rolled out, we also thought it will be important to have follow-up training content available for all the workers. So what we did was we actually shot small, short 2 to 3 minutes videos, about 18 of them, addressing each specific aspect of what a volunteer should know. And this is both in English and Kannada. That is hopefully getting uploaded today in Jagrati, Karnataka. And maybe after that, we can also upload it in BLKS. So this is for volunteers to understand what exactly they are supposed to do, what is their role, what are their responsibilities, etc. The third update is based on our discussion yesterday. We are also trying to figure out how we can set up a support call center for volunteers. And we are examining different options, and we'll keep the group informed and updated on this. The request I have, sir, is this. There are some groups which are still working in a central fashion, like tracing secondary and primary contacts, etc. How soon can we get them into the same fold as the ward level committee, booth level committee, that structure? And any other such organizations which are working centrally, shouldn't we now actually look at bringing them under the same matrix structure of booth level and ward level? Are we thinking of doing that? That's my question. Because I think it'll become much more efficient if we do that.
Can I come in? Much time now.
Sir, please. Go ahead.
So let me answer to all the issues that have been raised by our friends. Number 1 is that regarding each one of you have raised this issue of vertical silos, like contact tracing is done by one officer at the BBMP level. He looks after contact tracing. He has his own army of people. He has his own app, and whatever he does, this app doesn't talk to others. So these people don't talk to the other people. So we have contact tracing. Then we have another set of people who are for the containment zone. And we have one more set like this quarantine watch, people who breach the quarantines. Now, the first thing that we will do is that to integrate all this into one group. I mean, we have one ward committee and one booth level committee for each booth. In fact, this digital maps of all these booths I have sent it to Shrikant. I think he must have integrated into the BBMP maps so that for each ward, we know which are those booths, very digitally, marked booths, which we had used for the last elections. Number 1, when once we have the ward level, ward level, you are telling, this regarding these officers at the ward level, this tenure of the corporation is only another 1 month. Then afterwards, corporator will not be there. So otherwise, the officers like my assistant engineer, the health inspector, revenue inspector, tax inspector, assessor, and 2 link workers. So these people, in addition to this, the structure that we have at the primary, this one, the health center, like medical officer, ANMs, and all other entire people, they will be there. So this entire booth level committees have to be driven from the ward itself. Now we find that a number of places booth level officers are not there. The reason being, people from Hoskote have been put as booth level officer. People from Ramnagara has been put as booth level, but they will not come. It will not work. There is no point in relying on them. The ward itself should identify the local level officer who is present there. He should locally make the arrangements. In fact, if you look at the definition of booth level officer, it doesn't mean only government employee. Somebody who is a respectable person in that locality, he can be retired, he can be anybody who is respected by everybody, he can be a booth level officer there in that this one. That is the definition of the election commission. That's how this booth level officer has this one. So the locally it has to be arranged. Now today morning, as I told you, we have appointed the 27 senior KAS officers who worked as returning officers in the last elections, in the same constituency where they have worked. Now each this divisional officer will get about 8 to 9 wards. I have asked him to conduct meeting at each of these ward, call these officers, call these volunteers. Clearly, in a particular booth, that particular volunteers will do all this works. Contact tracing, containment, quarantine, watch, or survey, everything will be done by one team only. These things, the way it is happening now, can't go on like this. So it has to be brought under one umbrella, and all this have to be integrated. So vertical things that have to be removed. So then regarding the other issues raised, one is that regarding Atik sir, what I said is about the list of BLOs. List of BLOs, whatever we have uploaded into the system, better to remove that. Let us take this list from the wards itself, and then whatever we take from the ward, that will be more benign. I'll ask them to send that list, then that can be uploaded into this system. And then Atik was also telling about this one, the launching of this BL Cares. I said that we can keep it on Wednesday. I don't know, you have to tell me when it has to be done. Right now I have a meeting with the mayor. I'll brief him also. I'll keep him in loop so that we can have this launching of this portal, so that everybody knows that where to contact, and it's the one platform where they will know what are my jobs, responsibility, how do I become a volunteer, and all this entire, it's a one platform where all that information will be given and disseminated. So those teams again, Atik sir was also telling about this. Checking whether the homes are fit for home isolation or not, or whether they should be sent to COVID cases. All this is done by the local, except bed management. The local committee, the ward committee or the booth level committee, they can look into home isolation issues. They can send patients to the COVID care centers, but they will not have the powers to admit a person directly to the hospital. This will not. That being the case, the ward will decide all my patients should be in the best hospitals, even though if there are asymptomatic and mild symptoms. So that will be centralized at the zonal level. The ward or the booth can flag that this person is serious, this needs to be hospitalized, then that will be done at the zonal level. So this cannot be delegated to the ward level. That will not happen. So then other than this, Tara spoke about this, this presentation and all this was good. And if I want to become a booth level volunteer, where to go, how to go, all this. And once this platform is launched, then everybody, it will be this one, it will be clear. And she also talked about the multiple squads and no clarity on role. So now that clarity will be there, and so that each team will perform all. They are responsible for that particular booth. Then, how to avoid fatalities, that live bed data and all this, we have, she has told, let us see at this one. And as somebody told rightly yesterday, had happened to be to one of the primary health centers of BBMP in JJ Nagar. JJ Nagar is ward number 137, predominantly Muslim population. They have built about a 40-bedded fantastic hospital, but 1 year back when I was there, we got it inaugurated. But unfortunately, even after 1 year, the hospital is not functioning. Not a single patient has been admitted. So that being the case, then I suggested we can have a centralized oxygen bed system, and I requested our friend trustee chairman, so he readily agreed to set up this oxygenated system there. In addition to this, I mean, it's because I asked him that before it can be fast. Resources are not an issue. I mean, even we have the funds, but we have so much of formalities and this and government procedures. It will take time. That is the only issues. Then Vinay spoke about this slums and the slums. I mean, we know that slums they can't and even this one, the other people have to be quarantined by institutional quarantine. That can't be at home quarantine. So that very clear instructions has been given. So these are the things. And Nitya was talking about bringing all the groups under one umbrella. Yesterday, when we were having this meeting, Manivandan just came. Manivandan said, I have a separate platform. On my platform, already 26,000 volunteers are there. Why one more? So he was telling that then we can merge both of this. So he also has volunteers. So we can talk to Mani and whatever he has created, that can be merged into this. So there will be a single platform, single source of information. This one, there can't be many. This one, and I fully agree with Katyayani that this area sabas, and we need to do that. Let us see. Let us give us a legal backing, and we'll bring it to the formalized structure so that each booth will be declared as an area sabha, and chairman can be nominated, and then can be this one. So that will give like ward committees. This will give a legal backing, and that will be good. Let me talk to Rakesh Singh and whether we can issue notification. I don't think there will be any problem in doing this. At least this is the right time to do this. I am fully for this, and I want a decentralized things of doing in BBMP rather than centralized. I'm the last person to support this centralized. So this we will take it forward. It's a very good idea, and I will see to it that very soon it will be done.
It's you made Katyayani ma'am smile big time. You got ward committees going last time. Now you're talking area sabha. So about the launching of the portal, Sapna, Sobia, and Gautam, all these guys are the ones that are building the portal. So you guys want to tell sir whether what is the current status, when can you go live, and what is it on it right now?
Yeah, so I can go first, and if Sobia or Gautam have to add anything, they can. So currently we have data on the ward and the polling booth locations. The polling booth boundaries will be up tonight, and there are sign-in forms that are already there for volunteers to sign in. We will remove the data that is currently there, which is the BLO and the volunteer data, so that new data can be populated. And when Sir gives us all the existing data that is there in different locations that have been formally mobilized, we will add that in also immediately. I think we should be able to go live day after. We could launch the day after, which is on the 6th of August. I think Prasad Sir will be able to get the mayor also, if we can coordinate that, and then we should be able to go live on the 6th.
So what is the objective of launching, sir? Is that the people can sign up on it? That's your objective of it?
No, launching us gives wide publicity about that whoever wants to be. Look, this is the platform. This is how you can sign in and become a volunteer, and this is a platform where you know what are the rules. What will be the role of each both the level volunteer, in what way he can contribute. So this is a platform where the people can come in, sign in, and become a volunteer. A single this one, it will be jointly. It will be by BBMP and this one BLK, Janagraha. So that will Otherwise, people will ask, I want to become a booth level, or where do I go? How do I go? So all those questions will be answered in that.
So my 2 cents is that we can do that, and because it will get publicity and you will talk about it in the press and all that, a lot of people will sign up. What happens after that is the problem, sir. If we set up those things and then launch it, then it will have a better takeoff. Otherwise, we can launch a portal and then people log in and then it lead to all kinds of conversations. So my personal suggestion is that settle all those things so that, when somebody signs up, is somebody going to pick up a phone and call them or message them, or what will happen, right? That part is not yet clear, at least to me. I'm slightly out of action last few days, but if that has been figured out, I think Ramji talked about what did he say? He's building a call center. So maybe that needs to be connected to the portal, right? Otherwise, how will the volunteers get organized to do something after the day of signing up? So that needs to be thought through. By launching it, it can be a good, it can give a boost to the program, but it may not sustain. So you take a call based on that, sir. So Sobhya and Gautam.
Yeah, initial glitches there, here and there. But I mean, before we launch it, I'll issue a clear instructions to all my ward level officers as how the workflow will happen and what is that we are doing. All this, the ward level officers will be aware. Now that the divisional level officers are there, they will, also tell all this ward level officers so that they are aware of this. Otherwise, number one is that as of now also we are not waiting for this platform. Otherwise also we have started and it started going. That has already happened. But before this happened, initially there will be some glitches here and there. Within some time it will settle. That's what I feel.
Okay.
I have to
Sobhya Gautam.
I will leave a minister is there. So
okay.
Manoj later. So I have this mayor is waiting for me. Some important solid waste management meeting is there. I will leave at this time. Thank you.
Sir, who will engage on your behalf, sir?
Manoj Jain, my special commissioner projects, is the nodal officer for this. He's there.
I'm there on meeting, sir.
Manjunath, can I, before you go, I just want to say one or two things, Srinivas.
Yes, sir, please.
Yes,
Manjunath, before you go, Yenilla, I think, thank you. This is a very, very useful interaction we have had. And you have laid down the policy, and which is we're very happy. We will support BBMP in all respects with the help of civil society. And we can't bother you all the time. Therefore, Manoj Jain will be our nodal person. I just spoke to Manoj. Manoj said he will come and meet me. So I will also discuss with him how to go about distributing the pulse oximeters which are available right now. Yakandre booth level officers ilde irovaga yaರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳ important, because you should not go and lie somewhere. So BL Cares launching, I agree with what Srinivas has said, that other things should be there. But at the same time, I would also agree with Manjunath that we should somehow launch it, and clear-cut instructions will be issued. And the instructions Manjunath will issue, we can supply a draft to him so he can take a look at it. I think Sapna and Tara, all of us can put together and put us very simple flowchart, and where we make the ward level member secretaries responsible for reaching out to the volunteers who sign up and push it to the booth level so that work happens. So ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಮೂವರ್ಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್, so that volunteers should not get disappointed. But for us to wait for everything to fall in place and then launch will be a little too late. Let us launch as soon as possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. It will be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll continue with Mr. Manoj. Thank you so much, sir. So Manoj sir, I think one thing that you can help us is how do we engage with this larger group? There, as you know, you were there at the beginning of this call. There are lots and lots of groups. For the sake of conversation to be productive, we have requested a few people to join today, but there are 50, 60, 70 people on this group that we have created. And, these are all representing different CSOs of Bengaluru, NGOs of Bengaluru, working in different geographical areas. and working on different kind of issues also. So it will be useful to know how you want to take this forward, the engagement. We already have a large WhatsApp group with lots of people on it. It can act as a communication channel. There are also, I think there's another group that Sapna has created on the request of Manjunath Prasad sir, where you are there and Mr. Manjunath Prasad sir is there, and some of the people that are in this group are also there. So how you want to coordinate this activity, you don't need to answer it right now, but please think about it and tell us, and you can communicate with any of us and we can take it forward. I want to ask anyone else if they want to say anything about how to self-organize this and, going forward, now that we heard so much from Mr. Manjunath Prasad, and I can tell you personally that I am very happy because, for a long time we've been telling Atik sir that there is zonal commissioners, there is BBMP, and there is, various special officers and all of that, and they need to come together. And, we heard that will be done today, at least the intent is there, and this thing is there. And also we talked about area sabha. So a lot of good things have come out today, but what next, right? COVID is right now. So we also need to move fast. So in that sense, if anyone wants to add anything in terms of how to organize, not the, what should we do in a booth kind of thing, but how to better organize this joint campaign by all the citizen groups of Bengaluru, please suggest that, because Manoj sir is here and he is the one that has to take it forward on behalf of BBMP Commissioner.
Hi, Srinivas. I am Manoj Jain. First,
Hello,
I
sir.
should introduce with all the people. That's why. As Manjunath sir and Latik sir told, first we have to, within 2 days, I in contact with Sapna ji also. So the BL cares will ready by next 2 days. So as soon as we will launch, and in between this 48 hours, between 48 hours, I discuss with Atik sir also, and I'll discuss with all the zonal JCs, because as we require the ward level officers also and other volunteers also. So as Manjunath sir told, he conducted meeting in 2-3 wards. In that, corporator came. Next 48 hours, in the unofficial manual channel also, we will try to mobilize the JCs to contact the corporators at their ward level, because every JCs have only 30-40 corporators only. So that manually also in between the time, we will identify the volunteers. And as soon as the portal will launch, we will tell them to register immediately. So indirectly, manually also we will identify the volunteers, and after launching, if anybody want to come directly on the portal, he will come on the portal. And after registration of the portal, we have to arrange the training for them, because we have to tell them. And with the training, we have to distribute the oximeter and the thermo scan, other things, the format, all with them. So first, manually we have to start. We should not leave any stone unturned, and manually we have to start identify the volunteer now itself. And as soon as your personal WhatsApp group and personal, because you are in the field since so many years in the social service also, we are all in the field. So manually we will start the work doing, and as soon as the website will launch, the portal will launch, we will tell them to register immediately, so that we can decide the training as early as possible, because without training they can't go on the field also. Yes.
Yes, sir. The way I look at it is agree on the process. We are calling it workflow or overall process. What happens, how to somebody becomes volunteer, what happens after they become volunteer, and how do we measure the success of the program. If these 3 things are written down, then training should be conducted based on that. And the portal, like Sapna mentioned, the portal will be tweaked based on that. So these are the steps of action. I also agree with Atik sir and Manjunath Prasad sir. Everything, we cannot wait for everything to become perfect. So if the booths are mapped and there is an ability to register, I think I can agree to launching it, whatever word we want to use for it, so that people are aware of this happening. But it will be very, very useful that a consistent message comes from BBMP that we are now going to fight COVID at a booth level, and therefore all the existing verticals like home quarantine, like something else, will be consolidating, integrating. You don't have to do it tomorrow because it's not possible, but you have to express that, publicly express that a strategy or intent. So people understand that, okay, this is not yet another thing, but this is the thing. This is the BBMP thing, and everything will come under this. If not today, it will come under this tomorrow. Whether if the media understands it and the citizen groups understand it, becomes very easy for us. And like you heard, sir, the same strategy may not work everywhere. We are a big city. We'll be a country in Europe, right? We are that big. So in Mahadevapura, for example, there's a really beautiful system of the roots and solid waste management blocks, where house by house they can figure out what's going on. So there's no point in creating a new system. Somehow train that system. That's what they've been saying. So in Malleshwaram, apparently the similar thing exists, but not in any other part of Bangalore. So we shouldn't be forcing the same thing on everybody, but if there is an existing advantage to take in Mahadevapura, we should take it. So these are the exceptional cases that we should take. So if anyone wants to come in, please feel free to do that now before we close the meeting. Anyone who hasn't got a chance to speak? I know Jancy was asking.
I would like to just one point on the COVID resource kit. Hello, Manoj sir. We've actually, we're from Sensing Local, and we've put together the COVID resource kit part of it, which is basically all the information, the notifications, plus how will people receive information in 3 stages. Basically when they're looking at a precaution measure, when they think that they have COVID and they have to go in for testing, and the third thing is when they have COVID, and the 4th piece is post-COVID, whether recovery or in the case of death. So we have already put together some information regarding this, but of course, because notifications are coming at such a fast rate and it's happening so quickly, we would need somebody from within BBMP to help with the update of that. Because as a notice comes out, or as some posters come out, as a new helpline comes out, it has to be updated on that. So I would request if you can have a look at the COVID resource kit part, and somebody from within BBMP actually goes through it to check and see what can be done, how can we allocate some internal person also from BBMP to continuously update it.
Please share with me this information, and
Yes.
definitely I personally or I'll put somebody on the job.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Sir, namaskara.
Go ahead, Jancy. Go ahead.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಜಾನ್ಸಿ, ಸ್ಲಮ್ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಂಘಟನೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಮುದಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಕೊರೋನಾದಿಂದ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ತೇ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇದು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಮುದಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಭಯ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊರೋನಾ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗೂ ಒಂದು ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಈ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಸಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾನ್ಸಿ ಅವಳೇ ಇದು ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆನ್ಸಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Who else? Anyone?
Yeah, no, this is Vinay here. Yeah, just a very quick thing. One is, Manoj sir, we should ensure that we have an offline process also for booth level volunteers to sign up, because everybody might not be able to sign up on the website. So, some kind of whether they can go to the ward office, booth office, any place that they can go and sign up if people want to sign up. And then if you can make a WhatsApp poster about this, saying that these are the booth committees, and if you want to sign up, please go to this place, or please call this officer, and they'll help sign up. That should be there. Secondly, once people start signing up on the website, I just wanted to know from BBMP, how will that process be managed? Who will be looking at because the booth level officers need to get that data that these many people have signed up, and these are the people who are going to sign up. So how will the booth level officers get that message, and how is that workflow going to happen? At least that part we must finalize before we launch the website. Because if we don't tie that up, then it may be difficult for those the booth level officers to have that data, and these people also won't know whom to contact. So at least that part, if we can just finalize before we launch, it may be good.
I'll discuss with Manjunath sir that point.
So that reminds me, Gautam and team have built a very good chatbot. Shrikant, I'll come to you in a second. Gautam and team have built a chatbot, sir, to know where is your fever clinic. So you enter, you send your location on WhatsApp and it gives you a fever clinic. So like what Vinay was saying, we can use a similar technology to say, okay, what is your booth, and here you sign up. So maybe Gautam, you can build something like that. That way it doesn't have to be a, people that don't have access to online facilities can use that. If you can think about that and tell us if that can be done.
Sure. I was actually thinking that we could also use that to spread some information to reduce fear in local languages, so this becomes
absolutely. And integrate it with the portal, right? Whatever you do, it should be integrated with the portal.
All data has to be the same common source of truth. So what we put on the tool will not be different from the portal.
Okay, I see Shrikant raising hand. Shrikant?
A couple of minor points on what Vinay just now said. Just want to add my voice to that, and also wondering whether voice is an important substitute for also in-person requests. So if you're able to set up the back-end call center soon enough, then people can also call in and register, or maybe an SMS-based registration or whatever it is. That's one. So we can liaise with Ram on how soon the call center will be set up, enough to at least take volunteer registrations. Second thing is on the earlier point, which I think all of us are rightly concerned about, which is launching the platform is actually quite easy. What happens after that is the difficult part. It may be useful for us to mention in the platform to set expectations right, that this will happen in the next 48 hours, this will happen in the next 72 hours. So it's not like as soon as you register, from next day you can't hit the ground. So it may be useful to give some indication to people who register that once you register, please give us some time to set up ABC processes in whatever way everybody thinks is deems fit. That's all.
Makes sense. Thank you. Sapna, you raise your hand.
No, I just wanted to say that in the first phase, as and when people are signing up, one way is to the ward secretaries, before we have the booth level, volunteers actually designated. One way is to also send it to them. So if there are registrations in a particular ward, there are 198 people who are currently allocated, officers who are allocated. That's one way is to get it going to them. So somebody gets a list of 15, 20, 30, 40 people who are signing up on a daily basis. That's one thing we can do currently right now. Within even the next 10, 15 days, when you build phase 2, like I had spoken about, in that once you are on the portal, you will be able to log in and see for my ward, what are the registrations that have come, how many people are going, I need to train, and all of that. So there will be a workflow that we can kick in very quickly on that. So I just want to say that I think there is a way by which we should start pushing it out to people, even as the registrations happen once we publish.
Okay. I don't know if Manoj sir want to respond to that. I see Maria, Meera, and that's it. You are the only one that didn't say anything. So if you want to say it, this is your chance.
No, it's okay, Sri. I think all of you have covered quite a bit. Yeah.
Covered it. Yes, we covered so much ground. I am stunned. All right. Yeah. Who else? Maria? Anything?
Sorry.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Sheena. So, hello. Yeah, so I think we are trying to create some awareness videos with Karishma, like we already spoke about. So that's still happening. And I think everyone else has covered mostly everything else. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, stigma. It's all about stigma. Don't talk about other things. The stigma and fear, that's the main communication that's needed right now. And BBMP is doing really good job now with Ramesh Arvind speaking to it. So that's another person we should leverage for all this works, Manoj sir. If you can somehow bring him into this set of things, he can do a video introducing this work and why booth level and all that kind of stuff. It will be useful. We can connect later about it with more detail. But since you have him signed on as ambassador, I'm assuming that it's not going to be a problem for setting that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Any last comments before I hand over to Manoj sir so he can close the meeting?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So this, as Manjat sir said, next month if the corporators, this thing is getting over, do we see a danger to the ward level committee? Then how is the continuation going to be, etc.? Is that a worry?
We should discuss it separately. I think this is what's going to happen. Anyway, it's bound to happen. I think there'll be some court related orders and things like. I think this out of scope for this meeting at least. It is an issue to be concerned about, but I would let Manjunath sir. I think Atik sir is still there. Maybe he would like to answer that, and I'll pass on to Atik sir and then Manoj sir to close the meeting, unless anyone else has.
Just come in.
Yeah.
May I just come in?
Yeah, ma'am. Quickly, ma'am. Quickly.
I had asked about this. Yeah. He had said committees or the booth level committees or the area sabhas can continue in for council comes to an end.
Yeah, he said that in this meeting also, but it's beyond the what happens in this meeting, right? So I'll let Atik sir comment on that and close the meeting, and then finally Manoj sir should close the meeting. It's actually a BBMP meeting with all of us coming together. So I think sir has heard all of us. Now he knows all the people. So Manoj sir, this is your primary responsibility going forward. Is that my correct understanding?
Definitely, the Manjunath sir appointed me as a nodal officer for this booth level. So definitely we will coordinate and we will be in continuous touch. Or as first we will decide the portal as soon as we have to launch the portal, as Atik sir and Manjunath sir told. So we have to follow this thing, and whatever other confusion is there, one-to-one or on WhatsApp, we will be in touch with each other, and we will clear all the things within next 24 hours and 48 hours. Okay. Don't worry, definitely we will launch perfectly and we will have what we thought. Definitely.
That's so nice to hear, sir. Atik sir, why don't you close the meeting with your closing remarks? Atik sir, you there? He's on mute. Sir, you're on mute. Maybe you stepped away.
Yeah, could be on call also.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I think that's all for today.
Thank you
yes,
all. Thank you. Keep in touch. Okay. Bye.
Everybody. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye, Isaac.
Thank you, madam.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to close the meeting now. Okay.
Thank you.